So before I jump to the portal, so guys, please, if you have any question, then just let me know.
Sandeep, if you
Yeah.
can just give us a little bit history about Azure, like how, like when they have started, and things like that. Like
Hmm.
what are the various certifications are available in the market, or those kind of things, like the basic things. It would be great. Like otherwise, we need to do our own research. You might be
Okay.
well aware of those things.
Okay. So when they started that, I exactly don't remember, like when Azure is being started. Okay. But definitely, since AsapJob, they are also have a good course curriculum, right? So probably if someone is interested in deep dive, or because Azure is very vast, right? We cannot say, and we cannot learn in 1.5 hour or 2 hour or 3 hour session, right? There are different component. Or if you talk about there is Azure fundamental, right? There is a Azure DevOps, correct? There is Azure solution architect for application developer, for big data engineer, for EIML professionals. So there are hell lot of services are there. Okay. So for that there will be a multiple course curriculum, okay, which maybe you can get in touch with the ASAP. They can guide you. And what about the resources? Yeah, there are a lot of resources are available. So probably for everything, a documentation, their own documentation, any software, the documentation would be a good point to start anything.
So my question is like, if
Mhm.
somebody from a developer standpoint, who
Okay.
is who is doing Java development or .NET development or C++ or any development,
Hmm.
so which certification is really needed for him or her, or if
Okay.
he's in some deployment or in Jenkins or
Hmm.
CI/CD
Okay.
domain or
Correct.
deployment. So if he needs to jump or
Hmm.
enhance his career, right? So
Hmm.
how he can do the basic certification he needs to do so that immediately he can get start exposing the Azure or any cloud platform. That's what I just wanted to start with.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Right. Okay. So in terms of the certification, right? So there are multiple certification. Like as I said, first is Azure. There is Azure 400. There is Azure 900. Okay. So there are multiple examination. Like let's talk about 220. There is a EZ220. That's a IoT developer, for IoT developer. Okay. So whoever is interested into the IoT development, they can go for the certification, or they can go for that course, EZ220. Then there is a data analytics associate also. That is also one of the certificate. Like let's say if you are a data analyst and you want to grow in that aspects, then you can go for the data analyst or data associate certification and course. Okay, so that can be done. And then there is DP300. So DP300, it's totally for the DBA, right? As I said, there are lot of certificate, lot of courses are there, but it's you decide, like you have to decide which course you are interested in, and which certification you are interested in. So for DBA there is a DP300, right? And for data science there is a DP100, right? And for data solution, then like let's say if you are kind of a solution architect, you want to build some big data solution, then there is a 201. For example, if you talk about the or maybe if someone is architect, and if they are playing architect role, then EJ 300 is there. Like that is a Microsoft Azure architect certification. Then there is a AZ 400. Okay, that's for DevOps. Like if someone wants to build a career into DevOps, maybe a Docker, Kubernetes, or because Azure is having their own DevOps, which we call it as a ADO, Azure DevOps. There you will find each and everything. Even you will find repository management. You will find a Docker. You will find Kubernetes. You will find a build pipeline. You can create your own pipeline. You can create different stages. Right. So most of the things are there, which is related to the DevOps, that you can cover with that certification. Is it 400? Okay. So So that's all about the kind of a certification. And then we have kind of 900, EZ 900, and that is a fundamental which every developer should be aware about. Like whatever I'm discussing here, that's a part of fundamental, because I'm not focused in kind of a solution architect or kind of database or AIML or IoT, because those are the different courses. If someone is interested, definitely they can get in touch with the ASAP, right? So they can get in touch with them, and probably they will guide you like what are the courses are available, and what are the, they can guide you for the certification also, right? So those things are there. So but let's say on a high level, if you are a developer, right, so you should be having a knowledge on a fundamental, Azure fundamental, and that is it 900, if I remember, maybe I might be wrong, but that's Azure fundamental, and that is EZ 900. For DevOps it's EZ 400. Like if you want to learn the DevOps activities, if you want to learn the build pipeline stages, all those things, so those things you can go through with the EZ 900, right? So did I answer your question?
Yeah, got it. Thank you.
Okay, okay, no problem. Yeah,
So, for any developer, I think the kickstart is to know the fundamental and do some certification about the fundamental of Azure.
it's not certification is not required, as I means what I believe, what personally I believe. Why do you want a certification? You want the knowledge, right? So maybe you can attend the course, and if for your purpose, like if you are getting benefited out of the certification, that then definitely you should go for that, right? So first of all, knowledge, right? Knowledge is very important. So you can have fundamental course where you will be given a hands-on experience on all those resources, and how would you deploy your solution, how would you create the resources, how would you create the resource group, how would you handle the security mechanism. So fundamental will cover each and every part, but not in depth, right? So like for example, if I want to build a web app, I can so that should be the part of a fundamental course: building a web apps, building and testing web apps, deploying it into a VM, deploying it into web app, deploying it into a kind of a Docker and Kubernetes environment, right? Like AKS cluster. Then then the second thing is very important, configurations, right? How do you secure your web application, how would you secure your mobile application? So that is also part of a fundamental course, where where you will get to know like how can I secure my APIs, how can I secure my application, how can I implement a role based access control, how can I create my web application, how can I do a mobile application, right? Or a basic database or basic virtual machine, a DB, and a VNet, right? A logic app. So on a high level, these are like very important services which will be covered into the fundamental courses. Okay. And if you want a specific course, like let's say someone is interested into the DevOps activity, then definitely we can come up, or maybe you can get in touch with the uh, ASAP, and they will guide you like what are the different courses are available for a different stream, maybe for DevOps or for solution architect or for IoT or for AIML, right? So any other question?
So,
Hmm.
for a normal developer, will that be relevant to having more knowledge about architect solution on Azure instead of having just the fundamentals?
So I think if you are a developer, then definitely you might not be building a solution, right? You might not be choosing the tools and technologies. You might not be doing a POCs on a higher level. Like let's say, what's the role of architect? So they have to whatever the problem statement is been given, so according to that problem statement I should be choosing the accurate tools and accurate technologies, right, that I have to evaluate being a solution architect. So those kind of aspects or those kind of thinking, logical thinking or design thinking will be provided into the solution architect course. But definitely for the fundamental is required for each and every people who is interested or who is going to work on the Azure.
Thanks, Sandeep. Much
Yeah.
appreciated.
No problem. Thank you very much.